Good evening, everyone. So here we are with another session to discuss on the few other chapters of term 2. We will take up death, retirement and dissolution in partnership today. We have received many queries and there are many more that we have received in the previous webinars as well as through teachers over email, etc. We will discuss all of them here. And to begin with, I will reintroduce our panelists today. CA Dr. G.S. Grewal, Shri R.K. Khosla, Shri Harvinder Singh, and we also have Shri Gaurav Palia, who is here with us, though remotely, and he will be answering many of our queries today. So before we begin, I will have to request everyone to drop their queries on the chat box and kindly address it to the participant named G.S. Grewal. It must be appearing as a co-host so that I can see the queries here. And I apologize, we will not be entertaining any raise of hands because we are not going to be taking up verbal discussions here. We'll take up the queries through chat or through email. You can even send it to us over email after the session. So to begin with, we will have Shri Harvinder Singh discuss the syllabus in respect of partnership, the chapters in partnership to begin with, and then we will move on to the queries. Thank you. Sir, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. In today's session, we are going to discuss partnership accounts. And basically, there are three topics. One is retirement of a partner. Second is death of a partner. Third is dissolution of partnership firm. We shall take retirement and death together because syllabus given as a combined topic for retirement as well as death of a partner. Retirement and death, both the topics and subtopics are same. Whether you take change in profit sharing ratio, treatment of goodwill, treatment of revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities, adjustment of accumulated profits and losses and reserves, and also preparation of balance sheet. So for retirement and death, all these topics are same for both the topic, retirement and death of a partner. One topic is separately given for death of a partner, calculation of deceased partner's share of profit till the date of death. You have to keep that in mind that preparation of capital adjustment in both these topics is not in the syllabus. Balance sheet can be asked in retirement as well as death of a partner. Teach both the topics collectively from these topics point of view because there is no difference. Balance sheet can be asked in case of death of a partner. As you see, in case of retirement of a partner, there are many questions. But for death of a partner, there are very few questions. Any question of retirement can be converted into question of death of a partner. Simply you have to change one word. Wherever it is written that partner retired, simply write partner died. So that means all the topics will be, subtopics will be same. The only difference will be in case of retirement of a partner, the balance, final balance payable to retiring partner will be transferred to his loan account if the amount is not paid immediately. And in case of death of a partner, final balance of deceased partner capital will be transferred to deceased partner's executors. And when you prepare balance sheet, in case of retirement, you have to show partner loan, retiring partner loan, outgoing partner's loan. And in case of death of a partner, you have to write deceased partner's executors account. So there may be confusion whether balance sheet will be asked in case of death of a partner or not. Balance sheet can be asked in case of death of a partner also. And one topic, calculation of deceased partner's share of profit till the date of death can also be asked because that is clearly given in the syllabus. Maximum possibility is that there will be separate short question related to calculation of deceased partner's share of profit and its treatment. So that is from syllabus point of view, retirement and death of a partner. Now we are coming to dissolution of partnership firm. In case of dissolution of partnership firm, There is no change in syllabus. That was same as we have discussed earlier. There will be simply dissolution of partnership and partnership form, types of dissolution of firm, settlement of accounts, preparation of realization account and other related account, basically partners capital account and cash or bank account. That is excluding piecemeal distribution and sale to a company and insolvency of partner. That all of you know. And you have to keep that in mind in case if the net value, asset, realizable value of asset is not given. Consider it as nil. That means nothing has been realized. Specifically, question will be stating how much amount realized from the sale of asset. No assumption can be taken that book value has been realized. So that is not to be taken. But in case of payment of liability, if that is specific liability, confirmed liability, that is to be paid at book value. And there is specific that treatment of expenses, and sometimes expenses are to be borne by partner, and there will be specifically given and who paid realization expenses, whether paid by partner or paid by firm. There will not be any ambiguity that whether no assumption basis that who paid expenses. There will be clear information that who paid realization expenses. There is one question normally teachers ask whether preparation of memorandum balance sheet is part of syllabus or not. We have discussed in the earlier webinars also that memorandum cannot be considered as part of topic of dissolution of partnership firm. The preparation of memorandum balance sheet can be part of retirement, can be part of death of a partner. What is actually the topic of dissolution of memorandum balance sheet? Simply calculation of assets or any missing information which is to be calculated by preparing balance sheet. So there's no question related to that whether the memorandum balance sheet is part of syllabus or not. So that can be asked.
Right. May I add?
Yeah, please.
May I add here? You see, when last year rationalized syllabus was declared by CBSE, they specifically mentioned that memorandum balance sheet is not in syllabus. They deleted it. But in this year's rationalized syllabus, it is very much, it is not specifically stated by CBSE. So means it is part of the syllabus. Secondly, CBSE has, in the syllabus itself, they have written that realized value of the asset should be given. So that is a kind of instruction to the paper setter that wherever the assets are realized, he must give the amount as well. Arvinderji is very right when he says if the amount is not given, then we have to presume it as nil, that it has not realized any amount. Thank you, Rima.
Thank you. So now that we've discussed majorly what is in syllabus and what is not in syllabus, we would also like to hear, because we receive many queries, what is the difference between the syllabus and there are many items which are given in the learning outcomes. So the correlation between that, can we have Grewal sir explain that?
Sure. Thank you, Rima. You see, left-hand side is the syllabus and right side is learning outcome. Paper or the examination questions will always come from the syllabus part. And learning outcome is what CBSE expects us to teach our students. So learning outcome is always more than the syllabus. But as far as examination questions are concerned, it will only come from the syllabus part. And this has been very specifically stated also. Thank you.
Thank you. So very quickly, we have discussed on the scope of syllabus, but I'm just mentioning the line items here. So maybe we can just have a yes or a no, whether these things are a part of syllabus or not. Capital adjustment on retirement, though we have discussed majorly everything, but capital adjustment on retirement is or is not?
It is not.
It is not.
It is not.
Thank you, sir.
We are unanimous on this.
Perfect, sir. Preparation of partners loan account.
No,
No.
it is not part of the syllabus.
Perfect.
Although the amount will have to be determined, it may be amount may be asked to be transferred to loan account, but thereafter, calculating interest, repayment, etc., that will not be asked.
Right, perfect.
Mr.
And-
Gaurav, your views on this?
Yes, sir. I also agree with this. Loan account is not a part of syllabus.
Right, sir. And balance sheet preparation,
It is.
It is.
right? In
is
retirement
very-
of partner, balance sheet of preparation may be asked.
Here I would like to add, even in death of a partner, balance sheet can be asked.
Right.
As Harvinder sir very clearly stated, because retirement and death of partner have been given in common. And in that part of syllabus, even the preparation of balance sheet is mentioned. So we can expect a question. It will be a part of syllabus if the balance sheet is given at the time of death of partner is being asked in the question.
Agreed. Agreed.
Perfect, sir. Thank you. So we begin with the few questions that have been asked on certain treatments. So may I ask Gaurav sir to explain, or Harvinder sir, would you like to take this up? Gaurav sir. So Gaurav sir, we would like you to elaborate a bit on the treatment of deceased partners' share in profit with the logic when there is no change in profit sharing ratio of continuing partners, and B, when there is a change in profit sharing ratio of continuing partners.
Sure. Thank you, Rima ma'am. Good evening, dear friends. There are two situations at the time of death of a partner. The calculation of profit share of the deceased partner till the date of death, it has no change. It means whether the ratio of the remaining partners is same or the ratio of remaining partner is changing after the death of a partner, the calculation part of the deceased partner, it can be on the basis of previous year profit, it can be on the basis of average profit of the last few years, it can be on the basis of turnover. So these three methods, one you can say on the time period basis, on turnover basis, the method of calculation of profit is same. But now, how to credit it to deceased partner? Now there are two situations. Situation number one, if the ratio of the remaining partner remains same. Now, what is meant by ratio over here? Let us suppose three partners A, B, and C were there. The ratio was 3:2:1. B died on a certain date. At the time of death, the ratio was A, B, C 3:2:1. B died. The remaining partners A and C have continued to share the remaining profits or the profits in the ratio 3:1. It means there is no change in their ratio. I'm not saying ratio, I'm not saying change in the share, because share will definitely change. And I'm just saying change in the ratio. So there is no change in the ratio. Then we will pass the entry profit and loss suspense account debit to deceased partner's capital account. It means the profit share of deceased partner, outgoing partner, will be given out of the newly opened account, a fictitious account, a temporary account by the name profit and loss suspense account. Situation number two, if the remaining partners A and C have decided to share future profits equally, or future profit in the ratio 2:1 or 3:2 or some other ratio, which is different from their earlier ratio before the death of B, then we will pass the entry gaining partners capital account debit to the deceased partners capital account. It means the profit share of deceased partner will be given out of the remaining partners through their capital account in the gaining ratio, just like we pass the entry for treatment of goodwill. So there's a logic behind this. Grewal sir, if you allow me, we can share the logic, or shall we stay over here?
Oh, no, please. We have to, you see, what I believe,
Yes, sir.
that if why is clear,
Hmm.
how becomes easy. So we
Yes.
must explain why we are doing this. What's the
Yes.
reason behind it?
Yes.
Please, Gaurav.
So let us suppose the death of B was happened on 30th of June, 2021. The books were closed on 31st March, 2022. Now, if at the time of death of a partner, the ratio of remaining partner is not changing, then we have opened account P&L suspense account debit. At the end of the year, suppose B had died, so B has become, you can say, outgoing partner. B is no more in the picture for the firm. At the end of the year, out of the profits for the year, which were being transferred to P&L appropriation account, firstly, we will close profit and loss suspense account. So entry will be profit and loss appropriation account debit to profit and loss suspense account. So indirectly, we are passing profit and loss appropriation account debit to deceased partner's capital account. The only difference is we are passing in two stages, because one is at the time of death, that is 30th June, and one at the time of year ending when the profits are to be distributed. And the remaining profits, whatever is left, will be distributed amongst A and C in their ratio 3:1, because first case we took was the ratio was remaining same between the remaining partners. Situation number 2, when the ratio changed between the remaining partners. Suppose they have decided to share future profits equally, or remaining partners have decided to share future profits in the ratio 3:2. Now, at the time of death of a partner, say on 30th June, we pass the entry gaining partners debit to executor account, to deceased partners capital account. Gaining partners capital account debit to deceased partners capital account. So deceased partner is again out of the picture. Gaining partners means A and C have given the profit share of B out of their capital account by debiting them in their gaining ratio. Now, at the end of the year, whatever profits made by the firm, we will divide in two parts on proportionate basis. One for 3 months till 30th June, one for 9 months, that is from 1st July till 31st March. These profits, the first 3 months profit, will be divided in the ratio 3:1. B is no more in the picture. So we will divide the first 3 months profit in the ratio 3:1, and remaining 9 months profit, that is from first.
There is a lag in the internet.
Oh, I think Gaurav has some
Yeah,
internet
internet.
network issues.
So
So,
So I'll complete that
Yeah.
point that first 3 months profit from 1st April to 30th June will be divided in their continuing partners old mutual profit sharing ratio, that was 3:1. And profit from 1st July to 31st March will be divided in their new profit sharing ratio.
right, sir. Thank you. I
Okay.
think
Khosla
sir,
ji
you
wants
want
to
to
add
add up
something.
something. Yes, sir.
For the adjustment of the deceased partner share of profits, there is another possibility. Death occurred on the closing date of the balance sheet. Then there is no need of preparing the P&L suspense account. Simply, it will be transferred to the P&L appropriation account. So there is another case, say death on 31st March.
So आप ये कह रहे हैं
हाँ।
कि 31st मार्च
तो अगर
को
हो जाए
क्योंकि उस दिन फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स या फाइनल अकाउंट्स बन गई,
हाँ।
तो इसलिए प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस सस्पेंस अकाउंट का रोल
खत्म हो गया।
I agree with
और
you.
साथ में ये भी तो बात हो सकती है ना कि देयर मे बी पॉसिबिलिटी कि दैट partner died during the year, not on the closing date, and partners may decide to calculate profits up to that date. In that case,
Yes.
also P&L appropriation account will be prepared.
सर इसमें एक क्वेश्चन और भी है, पूछा जा सकता है. Is there any situation for the adjustment of the deceased partner share of profit when there is no pre-P&L suspense account? So answer will be if the death occurred on the closing date of the balance sheet.
ये क्वेश्चन जो हरविंदर आपने कहा ना, this was there in the as a MCQ in one of the examination,
Yes.
board examination. उसमें वो I remember कि जो डिसीज पार्टनर का डेथ हो गई, उन्होंने कहा पार्टनर्स ने इन टर्म्स ऑफ द पार्टनरशिप डीड फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स भी प्रिपेयर्ड और डिसीज पार्टनर का शेयर एक्स अमाउंट आया, तो किस अकाउंट के थ्रू वो ट्रांसफर होगा.
So in that case, P&L appropriation.
और इसमें एक चीज और भी जरा कहनी जरूरी मैं समझता हूँ कि ये जो प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस सस्पेंस अकाउंट बनता है, अगर इंटीरियम बैलेंस शीट बनती है तो स्टैंड करेगा एसेट साइड के अंदर पड़ा रहेगा, लेकिन फाइनली इट विल बी ट्रांसफर टू द P&L एप्रोप्रिएशन अकाउंट. ये हर चीज के मतलब जो टीचर है, मेरा एक अपना ख्याल है, डेथ के लिए हम ये दो केस तो आम जर्नल डिस्कस करते हैं. एक अच्छा स्टूडेंट भी कभी भी ये क्वेश्चन पूछ सकता है. 3 केस कि अगर डेथ इस डेट में हो, फिर where the P&L appropriation P&L suspense account will be stand, how it will be closed, ये सब चीजें स्टूडेंट के सामने बड़ी क्लियर होनी चाहिए. यानी बेसिकली डिजीज पार्टनर का जो शेयर ऑफ प्रॉफिट होता है उसमें मेन एक ही कंसेप्ट बड़ा ध्यान रखना चाहिए. अगर इन बिटवीन द बैलेंस शीट की डेट के अंदर है, तो देयर इज अ रूल ऑफ पीएनएल सस्पेंस अकाउंट। एक, अगर रेशो चेंज हो जाती है तो फिर एक हम कंसोलिडेटेड बैलेंस शीट भी कर सकते हैं, गेनिंग पार्टनर्स कैपिटल अकाउंट डेबिट टू डिजीज पार्टनर शेयर्स ऑफ कैपिटल।
उस केस में in that case there will be no P&L suspense account.
Yes, no,
So that will not be shown in the balance sheet.
Right. So we move on to the next treatment. Treatment of loan to partner by the firm. This is in respect of dissolution.
Hmm.
So may I request Harvinder sir to
Yeah.
take this up? Thank you.
In both the cases, I would say that whether the loan was by partner to the firm or loan by firm to the partner, in both the cases, both these accounts are to be adjusted through cash or bank account, not to be transferred to partner's capital account at the time of dissolution of partnership firm. And there's logic behind that. When partner has given loan to the firm, that is a liability. But this loan will not be transferred to partner's capital account because of section 48 subsection B, because of 48B. First of all, there will be preference of payment of partners loan over and above the amount is paid to partners on account of their capitals. So that will be paid first, and then finally capital account will be paid to partners. So that is to be treated through cash or bank account, and there will be simple entry cash account partner's loan account debit to cash or bank account. But I'll add the one point also. If partner has the loan was settled by providing an asset, and suppose I'm taking one example. Suppose the amount of loan is rupees 20,000 and investment of rupees 15,000 were taken over by partner and balance was paid in cash. Now, in this case, for payment, the entry will be partner's loan account debit to rupees 20,000 to cash or bank account 5,000 to investment account rupees 15,000. Yes, sir. So partner's loan account debit 20,000 to realization account rupees 15,000.
Yes,
I'm sorry, that was my mistake. Not the investment account is not to be credited because amount of investment has already been transferred to realization. So realization account will be credited by rupees 15,000 and cash or bank account will be credited by rupees 5,000. Now, if loan has been given by the firm to partner, so that is asset for the firm. So partner has firm has right to receive the amount as part of asset realization. So this amount will be directly realized in cash, and the direct entry will be cash or bank account debit to partner's loan account. Anything you want to say? No.
Devasar wants to add.
I will add. जो जिस हमारे कोलीग ने ये क्वेरी रेज की है, प्रोबेबली वो इस एंगल से की है कि loan to partner by the firm is to be transferred to his capital account or not. ये मैं थोड़ा क्लैरिफाई करूं कि आपकी बुक में भी ये पहले ऐसा है, पर वो क्यों है? till last year CBSE की गाइडेंस थी कि loan to partner is to be transferred to partner's capital account. But later on, through the sample paper, they said no, it has to be received in cash. तो ये confusion आ गई कि क्या capital में transfer करना है या cash receive करना है. तो cash receive करना है. तो ये हमने एक addendum भी बना के company accounts की book के साथ volume 2 के साथ लगाया था. तो probably ये question वहां से उठ के आया.
और यहाँ एक question और थोड़ा सा, वो सिचुएशन क्या होगा? कैपिटल अकाउंट डेबिट बैलेंस शो कर रहा हो और फर्म ने पार्टनर लोन दे रखा हो, पार्टनर ने फर्म को, वो सिचुएशन कैसे? इज इट पॉसिबल टू एडजस्ट म्यूचुअली व्हेन द पार्टनर्स कैपिटल अकाउंट शो द डेबिट बैलेंस?
You see, in that case, पार्टनर को लोन आप कह रहे हो कि पहले पे करना चाहिए और फिर उससे रिसीव करना चाहिए. पहले लोन पे करो फिर डेबिट बैलेंस ऑफ कैपिटल रिसीव करो. आपका यही क्वेश्चन है ना?
सर पॉइंट है कि नेट एडजस्टमेंट की
नेट
जाए.
एडजस्टमेंट की जा
नेट
सके,
एडजस्टमेंट की जाए.
मैं वही कह रहा हूँ, नेट एडजस्टमेंट करनी चाहिए.
ये खास.
But there will be one confusion from student point of view when they are habitual of first preparing realization account and then partners capital account and then bank account. Listen, one point. From student point of view, the student will calculate balancing. Suppose he is not preparing all these three accounts simultaneously and he has closed partner capital account, then he found that there is debit balance in partner capital account.
सेटलमेंट तब है जब आप पार्टनर्स का कैपिटल अकाउंट बना रहे हैं. लोन भी फर्स्ट पेमेंट आएगी है. अगर हम देखें सीक्वेंस देखें, लास्ट फाइनली तो पार्टनर के कैपिटल को पर एडजस्टमेंट जानी है ना. तो पार्टनर का तो कैपिटल ऑलरेडी डेबिट बैलेंस हो गया है.
सबसे पहले वो बनाएगा रियलाइजेशन अकाउंट. रियलाइजेशन अकाउंट से जो भी लॉस प्रॉफिट जो आएगा वो ट्रांसफर होगा कैपिटल अकाउंट में. अभी तक उसने पार्टनर के लोन की एडजस्टमेंट नहीं करी है. तो वहां आके डिटरमिन हो गया कि पार्टनर का डेबिट बैलेंस इन द कैपिटल अकाउंट. सो दैट अमाउंट विल बी फ्रॉम द लोन, इट विल बी ट्रांसफर टू कैपिटल.
Yes, this is correct. यानी after all adjustments.
So welcome back, Gaurav. So your comments on this.
गौरव सर अनम्यूट करना पड़ेगा.
गौरव आप म्यूट हो.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. I'm so sorry, sir, for network issues.
हाँ नहीं.
Sir, the point is very simple. As Harvinder sir said, let us suppose the partner's loan was 20,000 and he took over investment of rupees 15,000. So remaining was being paid through cash. But if we take different situation, loan to the partner or loan from the partner was 20 and he took over asset of rupees 24,000. Then the entry will be partner's loan debit 20,000, partner's capital debit 4,000, to the relation account 24,000. Second situation.
If the asset is taken over
Yes.
at 24,000.
Yes.
अगर सिंपल कैल दिया हुआ
Full
है
settlement है तो फिर तो दिक्कत फिर 20 से entry pass करेंगे. And as Khosla sir said, if the partner's capital is having a debit balance, it means the amount was to be taken from the partner. So we can settle the loan through the capital account in that situation also. Then entry will be partner's loan account debit to partner's capital only up to the extent of debit balance of the capital. It means let us suppose the partner's loan was rupees 50,000 and debit balance of partner's capital after all the adjustments of the relation came out to rupees 30,000. The entry will be partner's loan debit 50 to partner's capital 30 to cash or bank 20.
Right.
Let us suppose the partner's capital was having a debit balance of 60,000. Then entry will be partner's loan debit 50, cash or bank debit 10 to partner's capital 60. We can divide in two parts also, both the cases. Am I right, sir?
Absolutely, sir.
Right. Thank you. Question has been received on that. If retirement and admission happened in the same question, what will be the treatment of goodwill?
Retirement and
simultaneous admission.
Yeah.
No.
सर वैसे ही एडमिशन जो है टर्म 1 में खत्म हो चुका, यहाँ पे रिटायरमेंट ही आएगी बस.
रिटायरमेंट ही होगी बस.
But yes, in normal circumstances, I think such a question can be asked, although never asked, and I think it will never be asked also, because it will be of a very high order for a student.
अगर कोई टीचर साहिबा हो जो ये क्वेश्चन है जिनकी तरफ से, उनके पास अगर पुराना एडिशन हो तो ये क्वेश्चन बड़ा पॉपुलर था, लाल बाल पाल वाला क्वेश्चन, वो इलस्ट्रेशन है, उसके अंदर ये कंसेप्ट बड़ा क्लियर हो जाएगा गुडविल का.
I think this has been asked by a student.
Okay.
So next would be we discuss the treatment of workman compensation reserve and investment fluctuation reserve.
Before discussing the treatment of workman compensation reserve, some important point is this is the reserve which is created to compensation for the compensation of workmen. Second, this is an appropriation of profits. Very important, this is an appropriation of profits. Now, the different situation, when there is no claim against of workman compensation reserve, certainly it is an appropriation of profit. It will be distributed among all the partners, existing partner. In case of admission, not the incoming partner. In case of retiring partner, also included. And all the partner, it will be credited to the partner's capital account in the old profit sharing ratios. Second, when workman compensation is equal to workman compensation reserve, it means that now the partner cannot claim from this reserve. The reason is claim is equal to the reserve.
Liability and reserve
are equal. तब दोनों बराबर हो गए, फिर कहां से पार्टनर लेंगे? लेकिन अगर एक ऐसी सिचुएशन हो जाए, अगर बाय दी वे ये रिजर्व कम है, क्लेम ज्यादा है, ये हम डिसोल्यूशन के टाइम भी चर्चा करेंगे बीच में। अब रिजर्व कम, क्लेम ज्यादा, रिटायरमेंट में इसका अफेक्ट जो डिफरेंस का होगा वो रीवैल्यूएशन अकाउंट पर होगा कि जितना ज्यादा है वहां से एडजस्ट किया जाएगा। अगर ये डिसोल्यूशन का केस होता,
एक और सिचुएशन भी है सर,
हाँ जी,
जहां क्लेम कम है, रिजर्व ज्यादा है।
अगर ये भाई की सिचुएशन डिसोल्यूशन की, रिजर्व कम है, क्लेम ज्यादा है, तो अल्टीमेटली जितना रिजर्व है दैट विल बी फाइनली ट्रांसफर टू द रियलाइजेशन अकाउंट, और जो एक्चुअल अमाउंट आपने पे करना है वो रियलाइजेशन अकाउंट को डेबिट हो जाएगा, अपने आप ही एडजस्ट हो जाएगा। अगर रिजर्व ज्यादा का है, जैसा ग्रेवाल साहब कह रहे हैं, क्लेम कम का है, तो बीच का जो डिफरेंस है वो पार्टनर में डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो जाएगा। मतलब मेन इसका जो मेन कंक्लूजन है वर्कमैन कंपनसेशन रिजर्व पर, अगर ये दोनों इक्वल हैं, किसी पार्टनर को कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला, रिजर्व कम है, क्लेम ज्यादा है, रिटायरमेंट में डिफरेंस विल बी एडजस्टेड थ्रू द रीवैल्यूएशन अकाउंट, और इन केस ऑफ जो डिसोल्यूशन वो तो रियलाइजेशन अकाउंट है। इसका और बाकी कोई ट्रीटमेंट नहीं है कि इन सब कोई हो रहा है कुछ बोल
नहीं, मैं जो क्लैरिटी चाहता हूँ वो ये है कि क्लेम कम है, रिजर्व ज्यादा है, तो जो क्लेम अमाउंट है वो हम, और रिजर्व अमाउंट क्लेम के बराबर should be transferred to revaluation account.
yes.
और जो बैलेंस बच जाएगा रिजर्व में वो डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो जाएगा पार्टनर।
यानी इस केस के अंदर एंट्री हो जाएगी वर्कमैन कंपनसेशन रिजर्व अकाउंट डेबिट टू वर्कमैन कंपनसेशन क्लेम अकाउंट टू पार्टनर्स कैपिटल अकाउंट के पास।
और डिसोल्यूशन के केस में,
डिसोल्यूशन के केस के अंदर देखिए कि आप क्या कहना चाहते हैं कि अगर ये क्लेम कम है,
कोई भी हो, अगर हम क्लेम देना है तो रिजर्व कहाँ जाएगा? रिजर्व विल ट्रांसफर टू रियलाइजेशन।
यस, इसमें भी कर सकते हैं। इसमें एक तरीका है जी, बहुत सीधा सा है, जितना क्लेम उतना रिजर्व वो तो डाल दो रियलाइजेशन अकाउंट के अंदर, और बैलेंस जो है सीधा पार्टनर्स कैपिटल अकाउंट के अंदर डाल, वही वही आ जाएगा। यानी अगर जितना सरप्लस है,
पर मेरा ये कहना है, मेरा ये मानना है कि हमारे जो सब टीचर्स, मतलब हमारे ट्विन अप्रोच है, एक तो टीचिंग करेक्ट अकाउंटिंग एंड ऑल्सो preparing the student, he gets the maximum scores, maximum marks. तो जो एक एक्सेप्टेड प्रैक्टिस है उसको फॉलो किया जाए,
उसको किया जाए, उसका बेस्ट है। फिर तो सारा रिजर्व वहां ट्रांसफर करके और अपने आप अल्टीमेटली आ जाए वो क्रेडिट फालतू हो जाए।
वी शुड नॉट रिस्ट्रिक्ट अकाउंटिंग। अकाउंटिंग को हम जितना कर सकते हैं करें, उसको खोलें,
ठीक है, बिल्कुल।
पर नंबर लेने हैं तो हमें वही फॉलो करना चाहिए जो accepted practice चल रही है।
Yes. We can treat this with one simple sentence will explain the complete treatment. In case of retirement of a partner or death of a partner, we can say excess of workman compensation reserve over claim will be transferred to partners in their profit sharing ratio. But if there is excess of claim over reserve, that will be charged from revaluation. That's it. And in case of dissolution of partnership firm, as the amount of claim will be paid directly through realization account. In that case also, excess of reserve over claim will be transferred to partners. That's it. In all other cases, reserve, complete reserve will be transferred to realization account.
Gaurav sir wants to add something here.
Yes. As Harvinder sir said one statement, I always say one statement. In case of dissolution, WCR will be transferred to realization up to the extent of its balance or claim, whichever is less. Up to the extent of its own balance or claim, whichever is less. Let us take few instances. WCR is 50,000, claim is nil. तो हम transfer नहीं करते. Less is nil. WCR 50, claim is 30. हम 30 transfer करेंगे, less is 30. और 30 ही pay off करेंगे. WCR is 50, claim is 50. हम 50 transfer कर देंगे, both are equal. WCR is 50, claim is 60. Less amount is 50, हम 50 transfer करेंगे. Up to the extent of reserve balance or claim, whichever is less. Now I have got a point. So recently there was a discussion in one of the WhatsApp groups. One of the teachers raised the point that can we do this treatment that instead of transferring WCR to realization account, even if there is claim, the teacher claimed that if we transfer the WCR balance, existing balance of WCR to the partner's capital straight away, without checking whatever the claim is, and the claim amount will be settled through realization account as a part of unrecorded liability. Although I am totally against this situation, but sir, please sir, your expert opinion on this, that whether we should follow this or not.
Okay, if I may contribute, for what purpose reserve has been set aside? It has been set aside to meet the workman compensation claim. So to my mind, we should first set off claim against the reserve. Only then the balance amount of reserve should be distributed amongst the partners. Because that is the purpose for which workman compensation claim was created. Workman compensation reserve was created.
बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हैं ग्रेवाल साहब कि जिस चीज के लिए आपने रिजर्व क्रिएट किया उसके अगेंस्ट जो क्लेम है वो तो वहीं एडजस्ट होना चाहिए. यानी अगर एक नटशेल के अंदर हम ये कह रहे हैं अगर कोई क्लेम नहीं है तो वो किसी भी केस के अंदर फिर वो रिवैल्यूएशन अकाउंट को अफेक्ट करना तो पार्टनर्स के कैपिटल अकाउंट को सीधा चला जाता है. और बिल्कुल ठीक है सर, मैं बिल्कुल एग्री करता हूँ. और गौरव जी जो ये अभी आपने टीचर की बात कही कि ऐसा उनका है, ये मेरे भी ख्याल से ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए.
देखो ऐसा है कि उन्होंने क्वेश्चन रेज किया वो हमारे जो कोलीग ने किसी ने, तो वी आर डिबेटिंग. तो मे बी सम आउटकम कम्स, आज नहीं होगा, मे बी सम टाइम लेटर, क्योंकि accounting is a developing science.
Yes.
So it may happen sometime.
So similar something to what we are discussing has been written by one of the teachers here. He's Mr. Gulshan, saying we teach to students in this way in case of dissolution. We say workman compensation claim or workman compensation reserve, whichever is lower, as sir mentioned, is transferred to the credit of realization account. An actual claim is paid off by debiting realization account.
I think that is right.
Yeah, that is.
No, so that's the same thing as Gaurav has said.
So
sort of just
Mr. Gulshan has
yeah, he wrote parallel to when sir was explaining. I thought of
we
reading
appreciate
it
Mr. Gulshan.
out. And there's one more query. Good evening, sir. I want to know whether written test of 10 marks will be okay. So we'll take this up, or you want to take it up right now?
We'll take it up at the end.
In the end, yeah. So
But do remember, we have to take it up.
We will take up the queries, pending queries on the project and written test. Okay, so there is also one more query. Confusion in withdrawal of capital. Either we have to calculate interest on drawings or not on that amount. Yeah, please.
Because interest is paid on capital. If the capital has been withdrawn, That means interest paid will be lower. We'll have to calculate interest based on time period the capital is remains in the business. So there is no question of calculating interest on drawings of capital. Interest on capital will be lower amount. क्यों जी?
ठीक है.
So, little small questions we have received. At the time of dissolution, Workman compensation reserve is given 20,000 and claim for Workman compensation is given as 18,000. Then how will we treat it? Can we discuss the journal entries regarding the above question? So,
That is at the time of dissolution.
yes, sir, dissolution.
So as you see that workman compensation reserve is 20,000 and claim is 18,000. So excess reserve rupees 2,000 will be transferred to partners in their profit sharing ratio, and balance reserve will be transferred to realization account. A simple journal entry for transfer is workman compensation reserve account debit rupees 20,000 to realization account rupees 18,000 to partners capital account rupees 2,000 in their profit sharing ratio. And the amount of 18,000 will be paid and the entry will be realization account debit to cash or bank account rupees 18,000.
Sure. Thank you, sir. So we'll quickly now take the queries that we had received over email. Beginning with the first one. So Gaurav sir, can you take this up? How to treat the given balance of provision for doubtful debts if no information is given?
Question by
Ms. Shakuntala.
Okay. Shakuntala ma'am, if there is no information given regarding provision for doubtful debts, it's very simple. You don't have to treat it anyway. You just have to continue the existing balance in the new balance sheet after reconstitution. I hope you are asking for the retirement of partner situation, because at the time of dissolution, it will be credited to the ration account, an account will be closed straight away. But at the time of retirement of partner or death of a partner, when we are making the new balance sheet and there is no treatment, no adjustment given regarding provision for doubtful debts, we just take the balance as it is. But do note, sometimes a very small line is given, all the debtors are good. Your debtors are good. In that situation, the provision account is to be closed by crediting it to the devolution account. But if there is no information, we will continue with the balance as it is in the new balance sheet. Am I right, sir?
Absolutely. This line is very important. All debtors are good. इसको अगर हम कैश फ्लो के साथ जोड़ें तो वहां भी कई बार क्वेश्चन आता है कि अगर ये दिया ऑल डेटर्स आर गुड तो प्रोविजन को हम क्या करें, प्रोविजन फॉर डाउटफुल डेट्स वो प्रॉफिट में ऐड कर दें। तो मेरा ख्याल वो हम कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट बना रहे हैं, वी आर प्रिपेयरिंग इट फ्रॉम द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स, सो व्हाटएवर एडजस्टमेंट इज टू बी डन, इट हैज टू बी डन इन द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स।
सर एक बात और इसमें बीच में कहना चाहता हूँ, ये जो प्रोविजन फॉर डाउटफुल डेब्ट्स है, इट इज रिलेटेड टू द डेटर्स, ठीक है। लेकिन कितनी एक अजीब बात है, डेटर और प्रोविजन फॉर डाउटफुल डेब्ट्स के बीच में कोई क्रॉस ट्रांजैक्शंस नहीं है। ये जनरली आम हम लोग बोलते नहीं है, डेटर और प्रोविजन फॉर डाउटफुल डेब्ट्स में कोई क्रॉस ट्रांजैक्शंस नहीं है। ये एडजस्टमेंट बैड डेट्स और प्रोविजन फॉर डाउटफुल डेब्ट्स की है। ये बड़ी एक और ये अहमियत इसलिए है,
इनडायरेक्ट रिलेशन तो है।
हाँ नहीं सर, मेरा क्वेश्चन है इन रिलेशन ही, वो बैड डेट्स और इन अकाउंटों का दोनों का नेचर भी अलग अलग है। वो एक पर्सनल अकाउंट है, वो वैल्यूएशन अकाउंट है, और दोनों ये आपस में कभी भी मिलेंगे नहीं, ये दोनों की एग्जिस्टेंस अलग अलग है। और ये चीज जर्नली कई बार वाइवा के अंदर अगर कोई टीचर कभी पूछे तो मैं जरूर पूछूं उनसे कि कोई एक ऐसी ट्रांजैक्शन बता जो डेटर और प्रोविजन फॉर डाउटफुल डेब्ट्स के बीच में, नो डाउट कि डेटर्स के ऊपर क्रिएट है लेकिन ट्रांजैक्शन रिलेटेड नहीं है उसके बीच में।
हाँ जी
ठीक है सर, थैंक यू। नेक्स्ट इज, Can there be question on valuation of goodwill as part of adjustments in either retirement or death of a partner? This is by Mr. Joginder. So, sir, Harvinder sir, Grewal sir. Harvinder sir, can you take this up?
Actually, that topic is not a separate topic of valuation of goodwill. That is attached with whenever there is requirement of goodwill, treatment of goodwill. So that may be at the time of admission, that's the time of change in ratio, that may be at the time of retirement or death of a partner. So whenever need for treatment of goodwill arises, goodwill can be valued. So that means from examination point of view, there may be a specific question, part of there will be part point that goodwill is to be valued.
क्योंकि retiring partner is entitled to goodwill.
Yeah.
Deceased partner is entitled to goodwill. So goodwill का एक छोटी सी calculation आ सकती है question के अंदर.
So basically revise करना पड़ेगा.
हाँ, बिल्कुल. और goodwill is a common topic for all, except for dissolution.
Right.
It is common for other partnerships.
And generally, question of average profit method is given in questions, but there may be a question related to super profit method. Super profit is given, and goodwill is to be valued at 2 years purchase of super profit. So that means
Yes.
this method can also
कोई भी
be
method
used.
कोई भी method को propose.
So, okay, so next question is, can there be a numerical problem based on section 37 of Indian Partnership Act 1932? It's by Mr. Kapil. So Gaurav sir, may I request you to.
Kapil sir, very good evening. Although I feel chances are very, very, very less that there will be a numerical question based on section 37. But there is no harm in discussing these types of questions with your students. But as my personal opinion, chances are very, very, very less that there will be a question based on section 37. Sir, over to you.
2 mark question may be asked, 1 mark question may be asked.
Right.
But numerical question.
Numerical question, I doubt.
Yes.
My
A
opinion
theory
was-
question can be there, but numerical question chances are very, very, very less. But we should discuss as a part of practical scenario.
But there is one thing, Gaurav,
हाँ जी.
that is, जब आप ये बात की कि chances are very less. So that may be, there may be 0.001.
Yes, you are right, sir.
That means this topic is to be discussed
Must
because
be
from
discussed.
CBSE examination point of view, always expect the unexpected.
नहीं, इसका एक और भी रीजन है गौरव, व्हाट आई फील,
हाँ जी.
क्योंकि अब सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटीज का कॉमन टेस्ट होगा, उसका थोड़ा सा लेवल 11-12 से थोड़ा ऊपर होगा. तो यहाँ का स्टूडेंट 12th क्लास से अब वो जो भी कॉलेज का एस्पिरेंट है, तो उसका टेस्ट आएगा वहां पर, अगर इस लेवल से थोड़ा सा ऊपर होगा तो वी हैव टू प्रिपेयर देम फॉर इट.
So next question is whether there can be case study based on partnership in board exams, as there is a case study on debentures in the sample question paper for term 2. This is by Miss Garima. So Grewal sir, would you like to take that up? Case study.
Not in term 2.
Okay.
Not in term 2. Now you see, sample paper को लेके चलें तो उन्होंने सैंपल पेपर में एक केस स्टडी दी है, डिबेंचर्स को दी है. यस, आई थिंक क्योंकि ये तो कहीं नहीं लिखा ना कि कौन से चैप्टर में से केस स्टडी आएगी, कौन से में नहीं आएगी, तो मे बी ऑन कंपनी अकाउंट्स दे डू नॉट गिव इट.
बट
इशू ऑफ डिबेंचर्स, यू सी नाउ टॉपिक अगर देखें तो कंपनी अकाउंट्स का क्या रह गया इन टर्म 2, इट इज ओनली इशू ऑफ डिबेंचर्स. तो केस स्टडी क्या देंगे उसमें से? तो मेरे को तो यही लगता है कि केस स्टडी जो है वो आएगी ही पार्टनरशिप में,
पार्टनरशिप से होगी,
क्योंकि देयर आर 3 टॉपिक्स फ्रॉम देयर द केस स्टडी कैन बी मेड. बट इन कंपनी अकाउंट्स देयर इज ओनली एंड ओनली इशू ऑफ डिबेंचर्स. रिडम्पशन वैसे ही पार्ट नहीं है इसका टर्म 2 का.
So that may be from partnership.
और पार्टनरशिप में भी मैं समझता हूँ रिटायरमेंट के अंदर ही what will be the value of the goodwill, how goodwill will be adjusted, what will be the gaining ratio in this above case, what will be the share of profit of the retiring partner.
जैसे इन्हें कहा ना रिटायरमेंट हटा दो, डेथ लग दो, तो क्वेश्चन वहां का हो गया.
मेरा ओपिनियन सर ये है कि केस स्टडी can even come from NPO also. Why not from NPO? 5 नंबर की केस स्टडी अगर हम देखें ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ सैंपल पेपर, बट यस डिसोल्यूशन से भी केस स्टडी इजीली आ सकती है. मेमोरेंडम की केस स्टडी आराम से बन सकती है डिसोल्यूशन से. तो as a teacher we should try to explore ourselves. We should try to make 1 or 2 case studies from each chapter, even from NPO, from dissolution, retirement, डिबेंचर की एक दे रखी है हमारे पास, सैंपल है हमारे पास, इवन फ्रॉम कैश फ्लो.
So we move on to the next question. What will be the balancing figure? We have a few questions which are all related to loan, so we'll take them all together. I am straight away going to right now to the single question which says what will be the balancing figure in memorandum balance sheet if assets, liabilities as well as capital balances are given. This is by Miss Suman. So Harvinder sir.
Balancing figure.
हाँ,
तो बैलेंस शीट पूरी आपने दे दी.
नहीं,
sir,
नहीं,
इसमें there is
वो ये
maybe
कह रहे
one
हैं
thing
कि
that
बैलेंस शीट बनाने में
हाँ,
आपके पास एसेट्स हैं, लायबिलिटीज हैं और कैपिटल
Capital
बैलेंस है,
balance भी.
बट देयर इज स्टिल डिफरेंस
तो
बिटवीन
कहाँ
द टू
जाएगा?
साइड्स.
स्टिल डिफरेंस है तो दैट मे बी द एक्यूमुलेटेड प्रॉफिट
Result.
और एक्यूमुलेटेड लॉसेस हो सकते हैं अगेन.
Profit and loss we can
if
see.
balancing figure is in the asset side,
Hmm.
that will be accumulated
And then
loss.
loss,
And in case of liability side, then there will be accumulated profit.
और कोई देखो एजम्पशन करनी पड़ेगी इसमें, एजम्पशन करेंगे तो यही कर
ये भी हो
सकते हैं.
सकता है. पार्टनर को लोन होगा एक्सटर्नल.
Right. Thank you. Then another question is, a partner was being given rupees 10,000 as a remuneration for completing the dissolution process. Does it include realization expenses also to be borne by him? I'm assuming the question which is being asked, it means that if nothing is mentioned, then whether the realization expenses are assumed to be included in that 10,000 of remuneration or not.
देखो रेम्यूनरेशन वर्ड क्या है, व्हाट डज इट मीन? उसका मतलब है मेहनताना काम करने के लिए उसको फीस.
Right.
और एक्सपेंस के ऊपर क्वेश्चन साइलेंट है. So that means expense is to be borne by the firm.
Yes.
It will not be
It
treated
will not
as
be included in
the remuneration.
Rahul's remuneration.
Remuneration.
अगर लिखा हो Rahul is paid rupees 10,000
which includes
including expenses,
then only.
then Rahul will bear.
Right.
और अगर कुछ मेंशन नहीं है और रेम्यूनरेशन लिखा है तो मेरे हिसाब से रेम्यूनरेशन जो एक्सपेंसेस हैं वो एक्स्ट्रा हैं which the firm has to bear.
Right.
ये भी हो सकती है सिचुएशन कि फर्म ने कहा कि रेम्यूनरेशन 10,000 और एक्सपेंसेस 15,000. अब एक्सपेंसेस हो गए 25,000, तो फर्म की लायबिलिटी 15,000 ही है क्योंकि उसने उसके पार्टनर के साथ एग्री किया है कि विल पे यू 15,000. तो एक्स्ट्रा है तो वो पार्टनर के अकाउंट पर है.
सर एक चीज इसके अंदर और मैं जोड़ूं, एक सीबीएसई बोर्ड में एक क्वेश्चन था कभी, रेम्यूनरेशन पर आनम था. पर आनम दिया गया था. रेम्यूनरेशन जो डिसोल्यूशन प्रोसेस था वो विद इन 3 months हो गया था. ये बड़ा अच्छा क्वेश्चन था. उस टाइम लोगों ने गलती की, मुझे आज तक याद है. तो रेम्यूनरेशन जो है दैट विल बी इक्वल टू द फॉर 3 months.
So this brings to us to a very important point कि हमें स्टूडेंट्स के साथ ये जरूर बार बार शेयर करना चाहिए कि रीड द क्वेश्चन पेपर वर्ड बाय वर्ड. किस वर्ड का क्या मतलब निकल आए कुछ नहीं पता.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हैं.
इसलिए वर्ड टू वर्ड पढ़ना जरूरी है. जैसे आई रिमेम्बर 2018 में आया था क्वेश्चन, जहां पर क्वेश्चन में था पास द जर्नल एंट्री. तो जो स्टूडेंट्स हु पास्ड मोर देन 1 जर्नल एंट्री, देयर सॉल्यूशन वाज मार्क्ड एज इनकरेक्ट.
यस बिल्कुल ठीक.
सो इंग्लिश भी उतनी इंपॉर्टेंट है अकाउंटेंसी में जितनी अकाउंटेंसी आनी चाहिए.
That was the accountancy is a combination of 3 subjects.
सर देखो ना,
Accountancy, economics, accountancy, maths and English.
सर एक ही तो शब्द है, टू और बाई.
Yeah.
टू का मतलब तक, बाई मींस और. फर्क तो यही है ना.
Right. So next is a combination of few questions on loan from partner and loan to partner. So I'll request Gaurav sir I'll keep asking the questions one by one, although the discussion might have already been done
Mhm.
in our previous discussion, but still, for the sake of repetition. So I will call out the questions one by one. How to treat loan from outgoing partner or loan to outgoing partner while preparing capital accounts. This is by
Okay. I'm assuming they are asking in the time of retirement or death of partner, outgoing partner. So it will be transferred to their capital account. It will be adjusted through their capital account.
उसका रीजन बड़ा सिंपल है कि at that point of time we are determining the amount that is payable to the outgoing partner.
Net balance, that total balance which is due towards partner.
तो उसके बाद में वो बेशक पार्टनर लोन में ट्रांसफर हो जाए.
So
के केस में executors account.
if we go with the entries, suppose the loan of partner is on the liability side, the entry will be partner's loan account debit to outgoing partner's capital account. If the loan is on the asset side, then we will pass the entry partner's capital account debit to partner's loan account or to loan to the partner account.
Absolutely.
And same situation when there is a loan to partner and loan from partner in the case of dissolution. It's a
At the time, yes, at the time of dissolution of firm, loan to partner or loan from partner, whatever it is to be settled through cash or bank account, unless any asset or liability is being given against it, or the partner's capital has got a debit balance. As Harvinder sir has explained it very clearly. So otherwise it will be settled through cash or bank account straight away.
Right.
So the entry will be if the loan is on the liability side, partner's loan account debit to cash or bank account. If the loan is on the asset side, cash or bank account debit to partner's loan account.
Yes. So I hope Mr. Gulshan, your query has been answered because you've asked us to confirm this particular thing. So I hope that stands answered. Thank you. And then the next question again on loan. Can there be a situation where loan to partner or loan from partner are adjusted through realization account?
Yes, loan from partner is on the liability side. By default, it is being settled through cash or bank. But if the question says, or if the adjustment says, Rahul's loan of rupees 50,000 was settled by giving him investments of rupees 40,000. No full settlement word is given. So we'll pass the entry, Rahul's loan account debit 50,000, to realization account 40,000, to cash or bank 10,000. It means partner's loan or loan from partner will be settled through realization only when the asset is being taken over against it. Similarly, loan to partner can be settled through realization if the partner has agreed to pay off any liabilities against his loan. Let us suppose loan to Mohit of rupees 50,000. So Mohit gave to creditors of rupees 60,000 in full settlement against his loan. The entry will be realization account debit to loan to Mohit only 50 because the loan was of rupees 50, although he has paid 60, but is paid in full settlement. So entry will be realization account debit to loan to Mohit 50,000. Am I right, sir?
बिल्कुल जी. इसमें एक सिचुएशन और भी हो सकती है
हाँ जी सर.
कि पार्टनर का लोन जो है that is of 50,000 and he takes a asset of 40,000 in settlement. So that means partner का जो loan है that will be
50.
transferred to realization account.
Yes. Then entry will be partner's loan account debit to realization of rupees 50,000 only. Because in full settlement what is given.
But Gaurav,
हाँ जी सर.
full settlement और settlement में क्या कोई difference है?
No sir, I take it one and the same thing.
It's same.
Yes.
So एक हम बड़े टाइम से full settlement word use करते आ रहे हैं, but I think settlement और full settlement mean same.
Because yes.
So we've received a query in continuation to that remuneration expenses query. If Rahul was deputed to realize assets and pay off liabilities, and all realization expenses will be borne by him for these, he will get rupees 10,000. Actual realization expense was rupees 6,000, and it is not mentioned who has borne these expenses. Then what to do?
It is you have this question
very
clearly mentioned.
वो query में मतलब पहले तो ये था कि राहुल के साथ 10,000 agree किया हुआ है.
Yes.
Actual expenses are 6,000 rupees. But firm has agreed to pay Rahul 10,000. So firm will pay 10,000 to Rahul.
No matter how much
How
expense
much?
he's actually
It is the agreement between the firm
Firm
and
and,
the
Rahul
partner.
Rahul, yes.
So there is one more question that we received over email from Mr. Mohit Agmani. I'll request Grewal sir to take this up. The question goes like,
मैं question को मैं ही summarize कर देता हूँ. Its question is very long.
Sure.
इनका question ये है कि अगर firm का loss हो तो क्या हम profit and loss account के through distribute कर दें या profit and loss appropriation account के through? The gist of the question is this. क्यों देखा आपने? यही है.
I've seen that.
देखिए हमारे जो सिलेबस है सीबीएसई सिलेबस, प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस एप्रोप्रिएशन अकाउंट इज इन सिलेबस बट प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट इज नॉट इन सिलेबस. सो व्हेनेवर इन द एग्जामिनेशन क्वेश्चन विल कम, इट विल स्पेसिफिकली स्टेट prepare profit and loss appropriation account in spite of the fact there is a loss. तो जब ऐसा क्वेश्चन आएगा तो आई एम श्योर इंटरेस्ट ऑन ड्राइंग भी डाल दिया जाएगा उसमें ताकि प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस एप्रोप्रिएशन अकाउंट पूरा बने. पर अगर क्वेश्चन कहता है प्रिपेयर प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस एप्रोप्रिएशन अकाउंट इवन इफ इंटरेस्ट ऑन ड्राइंग इज नॉट देयर, ट्रांसफर द अमाउंट to the debit of profit and loss appropriation account and thereafter distribute it amongst the partners. Your views, sir?
बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हैं. यानी ग्रेवाल साहब आपसे एक बात बड़ी क्लियर हो गई कि अगर इंटरेस्ट ऑन ड्राइंग्स नहीं है तो ऑलरेडी जो लॉस है वो तो डेबिट है. अदर आइटम्स भी अगर कोई होती हैं तो लॉस को और इंक्रीज करेंगी और फाइनली इट विल गो टू द पार्टनर्स कैपिटल अकाउंट. दिस इज ऑल.
और बोर्ड का ये मानना है कि title of the account is profit and loss appropriation account. So if profit is to be appropriated through profit and loss appropriation account, loss should also be appropriated through profit and loss appropriation account. तो अभी रीमा के पास एक और क्वेरी आई फ्रॉम व्हाट्स हिज नेम, आगेश. तो उन्होंने ये कहा कि व्हाट इज द प्रैक्टिकल सिचुएशन, व्हाट हैपेंस इन द प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ. तो उसमें बड़ा एक सिंपल सी बात मैं आपको बताऊं, प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस एप्रोप्रिएशन अकाउंट कुछ होता ही नहीं है रियल. जब हम रियल अकाउंट्स बनाते हैं किसी भी फर्म का, इट इज ओनली ट्रेडिंग प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट एंड बैलेंस शीट. तो वहां पर ही सारा प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट के अंदर ही सब कुछ एडजस्ट हो जाता है. पार्टनर सैलरी, इंटरेस्ट ऑन ड्रॉइंग्स, इंटरेस्ट ऑन कैपिटल, सब कुछ वो प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट में ही एडजस्ट होता है.
यानी इसका मीनिंग है कि चार्ज और एप्रोप्रिएशन का कोई डिफरेंस नहीं रहेगा.
देखिए
अगर आप ही बना लेते हैं
लेकिन एक चीज हो सकती है ना सर, उस केस में अगर एप्रोप्रिएशन है और अगर आप ये बात देखें कि लॉस आ रहा है उस केस में without its treatment, so in that case this amount will not be provided. Appropriation items will not be provided. But there may be alternate that there may be two parts in profit and loss account.
नहीं, मैं आपको क्लियर करता हूँ थोड़ा सा. और अगर आप प्रैक्टिकल के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं कि पार्टनर की सैलरी अलाउड होती है अप टू सर्टेन लिमिट, इंटरेस्ट ऑन कैपिटल इज आल्सो अलाउड at the rate of 12% per annum. तो वो सब खर्चा माना जाता है, एक्सपेंस माना जाता है. चार्ज वो जो है ना, वहाँ फर्म के लिए एक्सपेंस हो गया और पार्टनर के लिए इनकम हो गई. तो टैक्स जब वो पे करेगा तो वो इसके ऊपर भी टैक्स पे करेगा. सो प्रैक्टिकल अकाउंट्स आर स्लाइटली डिफरेंट देन व्हाट वी आर टीचिंग as far as partnership accounts are concerned.
Okay, so we have a brief query on NPO. Since we had discussed it in the last webinar, we'll take this up. Please explain why advances to creditors are included in credit purchases in NPO.
ये किनकी query है?
I think some student it is.
No, it is not.
Maybe
He is
that
our
Mr.
teacher
Sahil.
colleague. Huh?
Mr. Sahil. I am not sure whether it's
Okay.
a teacher or a student.
ਤੁਸੀਂ
So
आंसर
क्या एक
करो.
बार फिर रिपीट करना.
why advances to creditors are included in credit purchases in NPO.
Not in credit purchases. It is in
Actually-
creditor's account,
हाँ,
not in credit purchases.
purchase, हाँ.
They are not included there. It is what when we are preparing creditor's account,
Creditors.
हाँ,
from where we determine the credit purchases.
purchases, हाँ,
Hmm.
yes, sir.
There we use it. But why we use it? क्योंकि हम total creditors का अकाउंट बना रहे हैं जिसमें एडवांस भी गया हुआ है और
और ये भी है,
क्लोजिंग एडवांस भी है।
closing भी है, yes.
अब उसमें डिफरेंस आएगा ओपनिंग एंड क्लोजिंग एडवांसेस में। So that means certain purchases have been made. That has been adjusted through the advances. तो इसीलिए जब एडवांस ओपनिंग एडवांस ऑन द डेबिट साइड एंड क्लोजिंग एडवांस ऑन द क्रेडिट साइड और बाकी एडजस्टमेंट करने के बाद परचेज का अमाउंट निकलता है।
सर यहाँ मैं एक चीज और कहना चाहूंगा, यानी इसका मीनिंग मैंने शायद लास्ट वेबिनार में एक बार कहा था, सर जो भी हैं अकाउंट को अगर आप डिफाइन करते हैं ना, तो अकाउंट को डिफाइन के अंदर कहते हैं कि इट इज ए प्लेस वेयर द ट्रांजैक्शन ऑफ ए रिलेवेंट आइटम्स आर रिकॉर्डेड, इट नॉट ओनली शो द अमाउंट एज वेल एज द डायरेक्शन एंड द नेट रिजल्ट्स। ये नेट रिजल्ट्स जो वर्ड है ना, ये बड़ी अहमियत का है। इसीलिए क्रेडिटर का ओपनिंग बैलेंस डेबिट भी होता है और क्रेडिट भी होता है, क्योंकि एडवांस किनको दिया गया है उनसे भी तो माल ही तो आखिर लेना है हम लोगों ने। ओपनिंग बैलेंस डेबिट भी है, क्रेडिट भी होता है।
And there is one more question. We'll have to interpret the meaning of the question first. Could you please explain situations where no journal entries will be made in dissolution?
जर्नल एंट्री नहीं करनी होती है।
I'm assuming explain.
First case, yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
May I?
Sure, sir.
हाँ प्लीज।
Situation 1, when the asset is being taken over by liabilities in full settlement. See,
Correct.
when the assets and liabilities are transferred to realization account, entries to be passed for sure. But I am hoping that you are asking the situations that at the time of settlement or at the time of realization of assets and settlement of liabilities, no entries to be passed. The first situation, when the liabilities took over any asset in full settlement. This is very important. Situation number 2, when any partner is to be provided any remuneration
And
he took over the asset
assets.
against his remuneration, and that too again I am repeating in full settlement. It is very important, in full settlement. So these are the two situations when no entry will be passed at the time of. Yes, sir.
One more is,
Yes.
and unrecorded assets
Mhm.
are adjusted towards the unrecorded liability.
Even
One.
if recorded is there, even if recorded assets are taken by unrecorded liabilities or vice versa.
Vice versa.
The point is assets are taken over by liabilities in full settlement. That's very important.
Very important.
Right, sir. So one more question on capital work in progress under fund-based accounting. Why do we deduct? Basically, they're asking about treatment of capital work in progress under fund-based accounting. Why do we deduct from fund and add to general fund? This has been asked by Miss Pallavi. So although it was
ये
discussed.
हमने last time
ये
last time हमने
discuss
discuss
किया था,
किया
but it doesn't matter. आप एक
Yeah.
बार
आप एक बार
repeat
फिर
कर दो।
बता देते हैं। फंड जो है दैट इज अ स्पेसिफिक, जिस समय ये अपना टारगेट को अचीव करता चला जाता है वो फ्री होता है, तो दैट्स व्हाई फंड विल बी ट्रांसफर्ड टू द स्पेसिफिक फंड विल बी ट्रांसफर्ड टू द कैपिटल फंड, लाइक building construction of building. This will reduce the bank balance and create the assets that will be building in progress. On the other hand, now the general fund, a specific fund is released from that up to that amount, so it will be transferred to the general fund.
मैं थोड़ा और
और
elaborate
करो जी, करो जी।
Ma'am, specific fund must be used for that specific purpose. Now, what I am just supporting what Khosla ji has said, I will explain it through a journal entry. So when we are constructing a building, what entry do we pass? We pass the entry building WIP debit to bank. Now, fund is not touched at all through this journal entry, but we must use that fund for the purposes for which it has been received, in this case, construction of building. And the balance as or at the end of the financial year in the fund should be that balance which is yet to be used. तो जब तक हम वो ट्रांसफर नहीं करेंगे टू कैपिटल फंड, तो our fund balance will be higher always than what we have to spend on that particular purpose.
So in continuation, like what we were discussing on advances to creditors, whether they are included in credit purchases, Mr. Sahil has clarified what he meant to ask. Says, I'm asking in respect of calculating consumption in NPO, whether advances are adjusted in creditor purchase when it is given. Cash purchase is 20% of credit purchase. So in that sense, they are asking why advances to creditors are included in credit purchases.
बात वही है
सर, वहीं आ जाती है बात। अगर आप एडवांसेस को क्रेडिटर्स अकाउंट के अंदर ले गए हैं या एक स्टेटमेंट में लेंगे, वो तो एडजस्ट होने ही होने हैं। फाइनल तो तभी पता लगेगा ना क्रेडिट परचेज कितनी है। फिर आप ये पूछ रहे हैं कैश परचेज की लैंग्वेज के ऊपर है कि 20% ऑफ द टोटल परचेज है, 20% ऑफ द क्रेडिट परचेज है। ये डिफरेंट सिचुएशंस है। अगर वो कहता टोटल परचेज का 20% कैश है तो डेफिनेटली वो जो क्रेडिट परचेज निकालना वो 80% है। अगर वो क्रेडिट परचेज का 20% है तो फिर जो क्रेडिट परचेज आएगा उसका 20% होगा।
क्वेश्चन ये है उनका कि अगर लिखा है कैश परचेजेस 20% ऑफ क्रेडिट परचेजेस, तो उसके अंदर एडवांसेस टू क्रेडिटर्स इन दैट 20% ऑफ क्रेडिट परचेजेस में एडेड इंक्लूडेड होगा या नहीं?
देखो साहिल, ऐसा है कि पहले आपने डिटरमिन करना है क्रेडिट परचेजेस
कितनी है।
वो आप कैसे डिटरमिन करेंगे? अगर तो आपको दिया हुआ है क्रेडिट परचेज, then there is no question of using advance to creditors. अगर नहीं दिया है, then you have to prepare creditors account, total creditors account, और उसमें आप एडवांसेस को, ओपनिंग एडवांस को डेबिट में लेंगे, क्लोजिंग को क्रेडिट साइड में रख के, और तब आप क्रेडिट परचेजेस डिटरमिन करेंगे, और उसके बाद उसका 20% जो है वो निकालेंगे कैश परचेज। सो सिचुएशन ये हो गई, अगर दिया हुआ है क्रेडिट परचेज तब आपका एडवांसेस का कोई रोल नहीं है। That is only extra information which is not to be used. Kozai, if you remember, there was a question of this type in the board.
और सर मैं एक चीज और कहूंगा, अगर क्रेडिट परचेज की फिगर ही आपको दे ही दी है तो मेरे हिसाब से तो क्रेडिटर्स की जो ओपनिंग बैलेंस हो, क्लोजिंग बैलेंस हो, एडवांस हो, कैश पेमेंट हो, उनकी सबका रोल ही खत्म हो जाता है। यानी टारगेट तो उसने जो अचीव करना है वो आपके हाथ में दे दिया है। और ये क्वेश्चन आए हुए पेपर के अंदर कि जिसमें क्रेडिट परचेज भी दे दी और क्रेडिट भी दे दिया उसे।
And I think one question, Rima, that is to be taken related to CBS written test.
Yes, that is
वो भी याद है।
that is going to come up. So हो गए हैं queries.
So let us,
yes.
Haji Gaurav, let us have your views on written test once again.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Dear friends, again, lot of rumors are there that written test should take place or not. Again, the contradiction arises between two things, curriculum and one document of CBSE, whereby the 20 marks project work has been discussed all together in one page. That 10 marks in term 1, 10 marks in term 2. All the subjects having 20 markers as project work: history, political science, accountancy, business studies. I have taken accountancy as third number, please note. History, political science, accountancy, business studies, economics. Out of all these, since the very beginning, only accountancy was having the written test. Remaining all subjects with 20 markers project work were not having any written test. So they have given all together in a same page that 5 marks is for file and 5 marks is for viva for term 1 and same for term 2. But we have to look after the CBSE curriculum. Nowhere in black and white is being mentioned by CBSE, nowhere in any document, that there is no written test in accountancy. कहीं भी सीबीएसई ने क्लियरली रिटन में ये नहीं लिखा हुआ राइटिंग में that there is no written test in accountancy. जब तक ये लाइन लिखी हुई नहीं आती, my dear friends, my humble submission, go for the written test for sure. There is no harm in taking a 6-mark written test. कल को अगर होता है कि written test नहीं होना चाहिए था, still हमने तो extra ही किया ना, तो written test ले लिया है. We have done anything extra. लेकिन अगर written test नहीं लेते हम, and later on CBSE says आपने written test नहीं लिया, why you haven't taken? CBSE शायद पेनलाइज कर दे स्टूडेंट्स को फॉर देयर मार्क्स. इट शुड नॉट हैपन. सो बेटर, माय हम्बल सबमिशन, रिटन टेस्ट लेना चाहिए, क्योंकि सीबीएसई ने हमारे लिए डॉक्यूमेंट जो है सिर्फ करिकुलम है फॉर सब्जेक्ट वाइज. अकाउंटेंसी करिकुलम में क्लियरली लिखा है टर्म 1 रिटन टेस्ट फ्रॉम रेशियोज व्हिच वी हैव ऑलरेडी टेकन, क्योंकि तब इतने रूमर्स नहीं उठे थे क्योंकि वो इंटरनल था. टर्म 2 रिटन टेस्ट फ्रॉम कैश फ्लो and comparative common size, and we had discussed many questions in our last session, last webinar, which you can go through the YouTube and check out the recording. So written test must be taken for 6 marks to be on the safer side as a matter of prudence principle. हम prudence पढ़ाते जरूर हैं, हमें follow भी करना चाहिए.
सर एक बात इसके अंदर मैं थोड़ा मजाक के अंदर कह रहा हूँ.
Yes please sir, please please.
जैसे पंजाबी की एक कहावत है, अन्य करो रोटी खा के जाओ ना, इधर रोटी खाओगे भूखे जाओगे ना, किसी ने नहीं पूछना. तो सेफर साइड करके जाओ, बच्चा प्रैक्टिस करेगा ना, सीखेगा, क्या इसमें दिक्कत ही क्या है.
सर जस्ट ये है, गौरव इज एब्सोल्युटली राइट है, ऑल ऑफ अस आई थिंक एग्री ऑन इट कि रिटन टेस्ट जरूर लेना चाहिए, क्योंकि बड़ी एम्बिग्यूटी है. सर्कुलर्स ये कह रहे हैं कि हम आंसर शीट्स नहीं भेज रहे, पर उन्होंने कहीं नहीं कहा कि रिटन टेस्ट नहीं लेना.
There may be one question whether answer sheets are to be which answer sheet is to be used for written test, because in some of the regions in Chandigarh, Bhopal, Allahabad, in these regions it has been clearly mentioned, there was circular that answer sheets for these subjects will not be supplied by CBSE. So that means in that case, use your own answer sheet, school answer sheet.
Yes.
If you are having extra answer sheet supplied by CBSE, then use CBSE answer sheet. If the answer sheet has not been supplied by CBSE, then use your own school answer sheet.
And should it be sent to CBSE or not?
Yes, should be sent to CBSE for sure.
Even if the CBSE has not provided you with the answer sheet for that particular subject, even then, I had a word with one of the CBSE official. They have suggested कि हम क्या कर सकते हैं, जो हमारी practical sheets आई हैं उसके first page की photocopy can be taken and can be stapled with our school answer sheets. Can be stapled with the school answer sheet and can be used for our accountancy written test. Even if you don't want to take a photocopy and you don't want to make a board way, you can go with the school answer sheet जिसमें आपके school का नाम printed हो. And yes, the answer sheets duly signed by internal as well as external examiner must be sent to CBSE.
Right. So we've received few more queries on other chapters like cash flow and debentures, but we will take them up when we do
in
the
the next,
webinars
next
on
webinar.
those chapters. Right. So thank you very much, everyone. I think it was a healthy discussion and many of the queries have been answered here. If there's anything that remains, you may email it to us. And thank you so much, sir and Gaurav sir.
Thank you.
So,
Pleasure.
we take your leave with this. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.